Hi guys, welcome to tradingwithzach.com. As you know, my website will be going live soon. You'll be receiving trade alerts and you'll learn how to trade the US markets using options. Okay, before the website goes live, I'm going to give you a free trade alert which is going out on the YouTube channel. Looking at a chart of USO, which is the ETF which tracks the crude oil price. Looking at the daily chart on the left. Oh, by the way, today is the morning of the 8th of March 2017 before the markets open in the US. So looking at the left hand side, we have got the daily chart. Each candle, as you know, represents a move in the USO on a daily basis. So each candle represents 1 day's worth of movement. You can see we bottomed in November, we went all the way up, and now we came down and we're moving sideways above the daily moving averages. Now, as you know, if you've seen my videos before, whenever we take a trade or whenever we're looking at the stock trade setup, we have to look at the weekly chart. On the weekly chart on the right hand side, you can see, yes, we moved above, we peaked in January, then we've come down, and now we are going sideways. So you've got this down move here, and we're going sideways, and we're consolidating above the weekly moving averages. Now, the weekly moving average, although they're moving upwards, which would suggest this is in an uptrend, this pattern here is bearish, which is strongly suggesting that the USO crude oil, will be coming down somewhere to around the $10 level, give or take. So I think this is a good setup, but again, you can see it perhaps more clearly on the left hand side on the daily chart. We've got a big down move here and we are going sideways. Now you've got lots and lots of small candles. This is showing that the institutions, I believe, are accumulating shorts, and if you're not familiar with shorting means you take a trade where if the stock you're trading goes down, you will profit. Now the way we do that with trading on tradingwithzach.com, we don't actually physically short stocks or ETFs, we buy put options. Okay, so looking at my options chain on the right hand side here, I'm going to give this trade time to play out. Although I think oil USO will be breaking down very shortly, you must always give yourself time. So I'm going to the May expiry. And the option that we're going to look at expires or will be expiring in May on the 3rd Friday of May. So because we want USO to go down, or we're trading it on the downside, you can see it says C here. C is for calls. We are not trading calls, we're going to be trading puts. Now what you do is you look at roughly the current level of the USO, which at this point is around 11.3. So I'm going to look at the nearest strike price I can get, which is slightly above the current price, is the May expiry, and I'm looking at the 11.5 put, and I can see here the bid price is 62 cents, the ask is 65 cents. So if we buy this option at the open today, we're going to get it for roughly 65 cents, assuming the oil price hasn't moved in pre-market, which it's gone down marginally. But that's roughly what we're going to be getting it for at the market open. Now, I'm forecasting that the USO should get down to around the $10 level. And so if we're buying the 11.5 puts for, let's say, 65 cents, we can now forecast and calculate what the options will be worth if the USO gets down to $10. And how we do this, as you've seen in my previous videos, is we take the strike price, which we're selecting, which we said is $11.5, and we subtract it from our target. So I've got a target, as I've said, of $10 on the USO. So the difference between 11.5 and 10 is 1.5. And so the options that we're buying for 65 cents should go up to $1.50, at which point when the USO reaches $10, we will simply sell those options. Again, as a reminder, on tradingwithzach.com, we never exercise options. There are very, very rare situations where we do. I think in 6 or 7 years of trading, I've only exercised options twice. So for all intents and purposes, we don't exercise options. So if the USO gets down to $10, those options will be worth at least $1.50, at which point we will simply sell it back to the market, and we will walk away with over 100% gain. Now I anticipate that this should happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks, if not sooner. But again, you must always be conservative when you're trading options. Always buy options that are a few months out. You must give yourself time. The market makers, the people that provide the options, know when the small investor enters trades, and they can manipulate the USO, whatever the underlying stock is, they can manipulate things so that it works in their advantage, and therefore you have to give yourself time. Now, what's the risk? So we've said potentially we can gain over 100%. The risk is if the USO goes up and rises, if it goes above $11.50, because that's our strike price, the value of our options will start to decay towards zero. So the risk is you could lose 100% if you're wrong, and the option between now and May will start to decay all the way towards zero if the USO is above $11.50. And in return for that risk, we stand to at least double as the USO gets down here. And if the USO goes down even further, let's say it goes down to this low here at, let's say, $9.50, then those options will be worth the difference between $11.50 and $9.50, which is of course $2. So we stand to make over 3 times as much if the USO comes down towards $9.50 before May, which it may well do. Let's look what happens just so that you understand how this works. If the USO gets down to $10.50, the difference between $11.50, which is our strike, and the actual level of $10.50 is 1. So we've bought the options for 65 cents, and we should be able to sell the options for $1. So we would make a 70 or 80% return in that case. Okay, so I want you to keep an eye on this. Have a look at how the USO is doing. You can go on any website and track the USO. At the moment it's $11.27. Let's see what happens, and I'll do a follow-up video in a few weeks' time to let you know what happened. If you found this video useful, if you find this video straight and to the point and a cut above everything else you've seen, jump on to tradingwithzach.com. Enter your email address. The website will be going live, I hope, at the end of this month. So just jump on there, receive my trade alerts, learn how to trade the markets, learn how to trade options, and profit for life. I look forward to seeing you on my site.